Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to another night of NS9LIVE. I, of course, am your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, as the second week in a row, the infamous Ryan Alexander. Ryan, what is up, my man?
I just noticed you have a lot better lighting in your room than I do.
Yeah, you better get on that. You better work on that.
No, I got the dark look. You know, I don't want people to see my face completely.
There you go. They appreciate that.
That's right. So what's up?
Oh man, what is up? Not much. The Pirates have played 2 games since our last podcast, splitting the Tigers. So not much baseball wise.
Barely. After that 7-1 comeback.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's up with you?
I'm completely I just don't care about baseball at the moment. The Pirate games are not entertaining. This Tiger games. I mean, yeah, they came back. I just want them to lose at this point. As I tweeted out the other night, just lose out. Why are we even trying to hover back around 500 so we can, finish at 80 wins or whatever? It's going to get them nowhere.
Sure.
Just lose out. Get Kramer up here. Start playing all the young guys and trade off Dickerson and whoever else you can.
You sound like a Yinzer, Ryan.
I know, right?
Which
no, so people are fighting me. They're like, "Oh, you can't give up on this team." Skip.
We'll get there. Amanda Jane says, "Shout out, that shirt is so depressing but accurate." I am wearing the "We Don't Win Anymore." Actually, I got the soundboard up, so
we don't win anymore.
Should be able to hear that. Smitty says, yeah. Roy Reynolds carrying us to the wild card.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
Oh man. Well, I mean, let's talk a little bit about that, I guess. I mean, it's time. There's no point of buying, right? There's no point of building upon this team.
No.
Okay. So if you're not going to build upon this team, I don't care that it's not the All-Star break yet. I don't care that it's not the trade deadline yet. It's the endish of June. I think you know what this team is. I mean, it is what it is. If you evaluate it, even if people come back healthy, what is this team? It's maybe a 500 team. We pretty much thought they were a 500 team. They had all these injuries derail them. So they're under 500. So if they get back to their potential, then the rest of the season they're a 500 team, which means they end below 500. So why are you investing?
They might get healthy. They might claw back to 500, but do you really see them getting 8, 10 games, 12 games over 500 by the season's end? Not really.
No.
And look what they did last year when they sort of bought. I mean, the Archer deal, Kella was good, but then we didn't add in the offseason, so we don't really want them to buy.
Right.
Why buy?
Right. Exactly.
Just sell.
They're gonna
sell.
Sell. I got that too. We got all the drops.
Sell.
So, but for real, man, I am 100% with you. I don't think this team just ain't it this year, Chief. That's it.
That's why I said it. This ain't it. This team ain't it, fam.
No.
And they were healthy last year, and they were over 500, but barely. But it's what? I just at this point, I want them to do just something else. This, we talked about last week on our podcast, who we would trade, who we'd listen to. Listen on Vasquez, listen on Polanco, just do something different. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. If everybody's healthy, great in next year, but you still have to add. Clearly you need some other pieces of the bullpen, even if Santana and Cool, come back healthy next year, which again, that's a risk. They missed the whole season.
They're still coming off of Tommy John surgery. Right.
Right. So you can't rely on them too much and be oh, we're good now. Santana, Cool, they're back. So you have to add, actually add some pieces. I know it's crazy. And yes, Kevin, it is absolutely time to move on from Hurdle. Get him the heck out of here. It's like I said Sunday, it's ran its course. I'm just, I like what Hurdle's done for the team and the franchise and getting him out of the 20 years of losing, but it's run its course.
I'm with you. So let's do some housework here, as you like to say, some housekeeping. Some housekeeping. Let's let everyone know so they can actually go we've been nominated, I guess you want to say it, for the best of Pittsburgh. So I don't know how or why, but we've been nominated best of Pittsburgh, the city paper, the Pittsburgh City paper.
Yes.
Yeah, best of 2019. So we've been nominated in the category of the best Twitter handle, which obviously that's us. Clearly,
that's us.
The best Twitter handle. Don't listen to Around the 412. None of them. None of the Pittsburgh Clothing Company. Get out of here. They're no good on Twitter.
Tim Shady's number 2. We'll give Tim Shady that.
Tim Shady might be number 2. And then of course we're on there for the best blog because Ryan, North Shore 9 blogs apparently. So,
yeah, I love when people tell us go blog about it, and it's like we haven't done that for like 2 years.
So I guess we would appreciate it. We're bad at self-promoting. We're terrible. This has been out there for like a month now, and why not? Why not start? It ends July 7th.
Says Frank Coonelly probably nominated us.
Maybe. So so you can go ahead and do that. Wow. Also, as we said before, to say it again, the charities raffle we have going on. Still check us out. Again, $10 gets you a raffle ticket. You see the backpacks right there. So $250 backpacks. We already talked about all the sweet stuff you get inside of it. It only costs $10 for a raffle ticket. You do get some sweet things in there. So as you see, any $10, any donation, right? Any donator for $10 at least gets you 2 Pirate tickets. And then you get a raffle ticket. Every $10, you get a raffle ticket for a chance to win the bag. And then, of course, a North Shore 9 t-shirt. And, Ryan, we do currently have 5 still, as mentioned. It's been kind of stale since we had the video. It's crazy. Like, this was going pretty wild. And then as soon as we announced the Pirate tickets, everyone was like, oh, never mind.
Right. People are like, I can't commit to that. I can't take on these 2 tickets.
Right.
They're tickets. You don't even have to use them. You can give them to somebody.
Have your own raffle,
Right. So why not?
Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of procrastinators like myself that'll end up doing it. But yeah, definitely check out the website, northshore9.com. You can click on our little graphic there to go in there and donate. So we would greatly appreciate it and get yourself a chance to win some pretty sweet things.
Yeah, it's pretty much a price of a beer at PNC Park, $10, get you a chance at the bag. And we have like 3 donors that basically don't want a bag. So like Frank Coonelly's not taking a bag, people. So like you got a good shot. So get in there.
There you go. Good job. So let's get into the big news, Ryan. So as mentioned, we split the Detroit Tigers series. But there's a series upcoming, is there not?
I guess so.
There's a series coming. There's some player apparently that's coming back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Who? What?
Garrett Cole is he's back.
Boy.
We're going there, I believe.
Oh, my bad.
I'll pull the schedule up here. I don't know what you're doing over here. Yeah. So San Diego comes in this weekend, and then we go to Houston. So the Pirates will be in Houston. And Tuesday night in Houston, it's going to be must-see TV here. Apparently, Garrett Cole is starting against the Pirates.
So is it safe to say that this right here was what you're going to be seeing on Pirates Twitter that night when Garrett Cole starts against the Pirates?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. As I tweeted out, this is probably going to be the end of Pirates Twitter. And boy, what an embarrassment that video. These parents at youth baseball. That's shout out to Wags. I don't know how he does it. I know he coaches, and we know. I mean,
at least it's high school. This is like 8-year-olds.
Al umpired for high school and even lower than that. So it's just I couldn't do it. I couldn't deal with the parents. And this is what'd you say? This is youth baseball, 12-year-old and 13-year-olds.
I've done on Darn's Dugout. I can go on and on and on about youth sports, but I won't.
Right.
But parents ruin it.
This was over a 13-year-old umpire. What are these people doing?
Think about that. The kids, the kids on the team were 8. The umpire was 13, and this is what you see from it. So dumb.
Why are you badgering a 13-year-old umpire and then the parents get into a fight? And it's just this is. Thankfully, someone caught that on video because it's
thankfully,
great.
yeah,
But
thanful.
It's an embarrassment. But anyway, yes.
Anyway,
that is safe to say.
Let's get to our
Pirates
boy
Garrett
Garrett
Cole.
So Garrett Cole, man, he is going to be pitching against the Pirates. We already know what Pirates Twitter is going to do. They're going to fight and kill each other, which I'm all for. But for real, so Garrett Cole against the Pirates. What are your expectations?
Garrett or Colin Moran taking him deep.
Ooh, I like it.
So, because if Colin Moran homers, we win the trade, right? We won the trade.
I thought we already did win the trade. I thought that's been confirmed because we have Michael Feliz as the opener.
Yeah, that worked out real well.
We got two starters, third baseman.
Who knows? I mean,
Martin.
Garrett Cole has been, the top strikeout pitcher basically in baseball, maybe behind his own teammate Justin Verlander. If he's not one, they're 1-2.
Yeah, no, he's still leading.
Yeah, so it's he's going to strike out a lot of people, I'm sure. And
for sure, he has 148 strikeouts this year in 96.2 innings pitched. Ryan, just a bit of a strikeout pitcher now.
Suddenly he misses the bat now that he's in Houston, but he never missed
because he's not being told to throw it at the bat.
Right. But I'm intrigued. I mean, our offense has been pretty decent over like the past month, so we'll see what we got going. But yeah, Colin Moran versus Garrett Cole. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So yeah, just to put it out there, the ERA isn't as fantastic this year. He's had some bad starts, but I don't think it's his pitching more or less. But his ERA is at a 3.54 this year. Last year, the great season he had, he ended at 2.88. Although his FIP is at a 310. I mean, the guy's pitching crazy well. Ryan, I mean, he went to Houston last year. This is the thing I want you to understand. He went to Houston last year, and he blew everyone away. Like how great he was pitching. The strikeout machine, right?
Instantly.
And he was striking out 12.4 batters per 9. And everyone went crazy over it. This is how good he is this year, Ryan. He's striking out 13.78. Like more than a whole strikeout per inning.
Yep.
That's crazy. Or not inning, but per 9 innings. Like an entire strikeout. It's unbelievable.
So how many strikeouts are you calling on Tuesday?
All right. So you got to think with this lineup, it's not terrible. It's not great. It's good. It's good right now, I'd say, especially with the Reynolds, Marte, Bell, obviously. So it's good, but it also is Garrett Cole. I'm going 8 innings, 12 strikeouts. That's
all
against
right.
the good lineup.
I'll go 7 innings, and I'm gonna do. I'll go 10 strikeouts. I don't think he's gonna have a crazy cruising, but I think the Pirates will get a couple runs on him. Like you mentioned, Cole's he's striking a lot of people out, but he's been like the ERA, he's been giving up some runs, so he's like Archer. He's just not pitching to that ERA. That's all.
Right.
Oh no, wait, Archer is. He's absolutely pitching to that. So can't wait. But it'll be good theater. It'll be something to break up the, that Pirates Tigers series is brutal.
So I want your take.
I watched it, but I couldn't watch it.
I want your take because you and I have definitely been Cole fans. I mean, when he was with Pittsburgh, everyone was bashing Cole. You and I were definitely supporting him. I mean, this guy is an ace. He is an ace, and he's clearly proven it now. So let's combine that with the fact that we're down on the Pirates this year. We're not like, okay, let's go win. We want the Pirates to lose, essentially, like you're saying. I'm not all for let's just tank. I think they'll naturally tank. I don't think they have to fight for it. They're not going to compete with the Marlins and Orioles the top pick, but they'll have an upper half. They'll have an upper half, draft pick and don't have to really fight for it. But with that being said, are you out there rooting for Garrett Cole against the Pirates? I mean, do you want to see Garrett Cole dazzle, or do you want to see the Pirates take him yard all the time?
No, I mean, as far as right now, I'm kind of, I'm okay with the losses. No, I want to see them put like a 6 spot on Cole in the first inning.
Do you?
That'd be great. That would be great. Why would you root for Cole? Now, I like Cole.
I don't know.
Like I said, we were the ones defending him when, he was here, and why, he's an ace. He is, and he's showing it now. The Pirates just, I don't know, couldn't get out of his own way. But against the Pirates, I want the Pirates to put some runs up on them. Let's see the bats. I mean, just imagine Twitter if that would happen.
Yeah, I can. Here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
And FYI, I'm not sure who's tweeting that night right now, but I have a feeling we're going to be very sarcastic throughout the night.
I'll make sure I'm tweeting that night. You'll be we'll code tweet. We'll be all over it. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm on the side where I just want to see Cole dominate. I want to see G. I want to see this dude. We don't get to see him every day now. I try to catch starts when I can.
Got MLB TV. You can see him.
I know, but I have to run this freaking Pirates account for some stupid reason. Why couldn't we be Astros, like an Astro blog?
Right.
Ooh, that sounds good. Astro blog. Anyways, I don't know, man. Like, I'm on the side where I want to see Cy Young Cole. I want to see this dude come out here, put on a show. You and I know Cole. This dude's already pumped up, I think, looking at that start. Like, he knows he's facing Pittsburgh again. I want to see this guy come out there and give a STFD to the entire, front office of Pittsburgh and everything, which I'm also on the side where, like, trading Cole wasn't the bad idea. It actually, to my mind and thought, was a good idea. Whatever the package is, regardless, but I know what this guy is. I want to give him to give a big FU to the Pirates front office because they're still throwing the sinker. Like, they're still pitching to contact. They're still making guys be Garrett Cole instead of letting them go out there and sling it. Like you're talking about Chris Archer. I mean, Chris Archer's the way he is right now because of this front office. So I want Cole to go out there firsthand and just show him, like, you guys are idiots. You guys are idiots.
They are idiots.
And have him pitch 8 innings, 13 strikeouts. And you know what? I didn't see the who's going to be pitching for us. I want them to go 8 as well, scoreless. We're still going to win the game. We're just going to win it in the 9th.
It would be cool if it was Musgrove, but I don't think it is. So Musgrove's pitching tomorrow, then Archer. Dude, I can't even tell you who's in this rotation. Then Brault, then we have the off day. So it's Trevor.
I was going to say, I feel like it'd be Trevor Williams. All right.
Yeah, which is person.
So the strikeout king versus the strikeout joker.
I get guys out and I don't know how I do it.
All right. There you go. The jester and the king.
Right. But no, dude, I can't root for that. I'm rooting for the better Twitter experience. And I think Cole getting lit up, especially early, would be better for Twitter and better for the brand, That's what I'm voting. I'm rooting for the brand.
I'm selfish.
Though,
I want to see
either way.
I don't know. Man.
It's probably going to be good.
I guess, me personally, like I said, in a selfish way, I'm rooting for what I just talked about. But I guess for Twitter's sakes, I'm all for a 6 spot in the first. I don't know, man. But in the same sense, if he goes 8-13, it's still going to be a Twitter meltdown.
True.
It's just different. Is it positive Twitter or negative Twitter? What if he goes like 8 innings and gives up 4?
Dude, no matter what, it's going to be negative Twitter.
And somehow the Astros only score 3 and we win it. And it was I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I'll root for the worst outcome. So after the second inning, I'll let you know. If he's pitching bad, I want the worst thing. If he's pitching good, then I want a complete game shutout. Oh, man. Anyways, all right, let's move on from Garrett Cole, just as the Pirates did.
Yes, please.
All right, so what we're going to do today is you and I, we're going to do another top 10.
Top 10.
Garrett Cole could technically, I guess, count in this. I don't know, but we're doing our top 10 favorite.
No.
Top 10 favorite non-Pirates.
Now, wait a minute. So I went that they couldn't have played for the Pirates at any point in their career.
None of my guys did, so don't worry. You're good with that.
That's the way I went. Okay, perfect.
I just wasn't quite sure, so I don't know what you had.
No, I didn't do that. I also, and I don't know what you did. I don't know if you got like Babe Ruth sitting on here or something, but I kept it to like my lifetime, like guys that I've actually seen play like live and stuff. So that's why I try to keep it to. So I didn't want to sit here and be like, well, man, that Ralph Kiner, when he used to come to bat in the fourth inning, just like it doesn't make sense to me because we can watch videos and I don't know, read.
Right. No, I did the same. All my guys are like people I've watched. I guess like
Right.
you said, it's kind of hard to say. I could say Jackie Robinson. I have an autographed baseball, with him and all the Dodgers on it. It's pretty cool. It's like intrigued me on Jackie Robinson, other than all the obvious reasons. But I didn't see him play. Like I can't say like, oh yeah, man, when Jackie came up, when I watched him on my 13-inch black and white TV, oh man, I just got so excited. So
why'd you have to go there, black and white? You had to bring race into it. No, like I said, I could have gone like Duke Snyder. I love Duke Snyder. Like,
also on my baseball.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you got the whole like 1954 Brooklyn Dodgers team, which is ridiculous.
Hey, can I say? Anyways, so let's get into it. So let's do our top 10. Do you want to go back and forth instead of just running down an entire list?
Yeah, we'll go back and forth, and I'll start.
Okay. So your number 10.
So my number 10 is Ryan Braun, obviously.
Ooh.
No, it's not
Obviously?
Ryan Braun. No, we're not going there. He would be on the top 10 hated players.
Well, I'll
So
tell you
number
what. I'll
10
be honest. When you said Ryan Braun, for some reason, Ryan Howard triggered in my head. I don't know
He might be
why.
on your list.
And you're like, obviously. I was like, obviously? Like, because of Ryan? And then it hit me. I was like, oh, wait, you said Braun. Never mind.
Right.
Continue.
So anyway, so number 10. So I got to go to the early 90s Expos teams. So there was about, 3 guys that I could have went there. And then even the actually more like the Rockies team when he went there. They had Dante Bichette. They had Andres Galarraga, Larry Walker. I got to go with, so I had to go with one of them. I went with Galarraga. Dude, and I learned a lot about myself making this list. I like a lot of like sluggers that really weren't great defenders. so I made a ton of
like a lot of Rockies.
Well, not say what you will about Galarraga, Coors Field effect, everything, blah blah blah. Which he still hit 40 home runs, I think, the next year with the Braves. But Galarraga was just destroy the baseball. And I'm going back to the Ken Griffey Jr. baseball days on Super NES.
Oh yeah.
So
right?
Galarraga would launch him. So he's my number 10.
Cool. I gotta say, like you said about making this list, this is weird for me, and I don't know, man. It's funny because I thought about this like a month ago. Not this in particular, but this is kind of what sparked me to think about doing this type of list. I don't have like many favorite players. It's weird. Like I don't look at like, oh my god, this guy's my favorite player. Like I was thinking about NBA actually. Now it's a little bit different for me because I don't follow NBA much anymore.
Talking about NBA.
But like growing up, I was a Sonics fan, right? And if you were to ask me who is my favorite NBA player, because again, this is actually what sparked us to do this show.
Sean Kemp.
It was a question somewhere. I was like, who is my favorite NBA player? And I really couldn't answer. Like I'm thinking, is it Michael Jordan? I mean, I loved Michael Jordan per se. Sonics fan. Like I loved Kemp. I loved Gary Payton. But like, is there just a guy that I was like, oh man, this is my favorite? I love him. I guess like of any athlete, I guess Dan Marino is probably like the closest to that. And maybe Jordan, I guess. So like doing this, I'm like, man, this is kind of hard because like I just follow things. I follow teams. I follow moments.
You're just a boring, lame ass
funny
dude.
The funny thing is like how you said about Griffey, it's like fantasy baseball has led me to some of these guys that be my favorite for just the most random reasons. So I'm going to start off with my number 10 is being Ichiro, actually. Dude is the rock star. He comes over to Japan, rookie of the year, all-star game. I mean, just dominates. Just fun to watch. And I mean, he was on some really, really fun Mariners teams. I don't know, man. There was just something. Like, it wasn't like he was like how you said about sluggers. Well, he wasn't slugging anything. He was slapping the ball, but it was just fun. What he was doing was just crazy. No one really ever saw it. So,
and he was different. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just like you said, he was just different. So that's my number 10, Ichiro.
So funny you mentioned about not really liking players. Like, so I learned two things about myself. The first one was, I like a lot of sluggers that just hit and didn't really play defense. And then I like same kind of thing. Like I found besides my top 3 or 4, I kind of found it difficult, And same thing. I was kind of going back to fantasy baseball a lot. And like I said, the Ken Griffey Jr. baseball game for Super NES, because I could tell you every single one of those teams' rosters from 1993 because of that game.
Right.
So,
right.
It's just so there you go. So anyway, so yeah, it's fine. That guy's my favorite. No, NL Central guys were out because they hate everybody besides, Pirates. But all right, so let's go to number 9. So speaking of the NL Central, back in the day when the Astros were in the NL Central. Dude, I love that Astros team. We got to see these guys a lot because, nobody was going to Three River Stadium early, mid to late 90s. So you saw the Astros a lot. You can get in there cheap. And Craig Biggio was one of my guys. The Killer Bees. There might be another one popping up later on this list. But
that's called foreshadowing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. So Craig Biggio, and now his son's playing, which it's pretty cool to see another C Biggio in the box scores at night.
And he's in Toronto, right?
A double thing. What's that?
He's in Toronto, right?
Yeah, him and Guerrero. And
it's funny. Biggio and Vlad's sons are playing together in Toronto. Isn't it? MLB
and
royalty carrying over.
Biggio's been doing pretty well. I haven't followed him much, but he's doing pretty good. But I got another C Biggio. But that Craig Biggio is number 9. I always try to pick him up in fantasy baseball, and a very good source of the hit by pitch, which we used to have in a category back in the day.
Man, your fantasy league, we had every kind of category. I think there was legit 13 offensive categories and then 15 pitching categories. It was crazy.
Yep.
It was absolutely insane. There's no way to prepare for a draft.
It was a 25 by 25 league.
Basically. All right, so my number 9, I feel like he should be higher, but again, we're just going by favorites, not by how good a player is. But Albert Pujols, number 9, it's freaking Pujols.
I debated him, but it's a Cardinal. I couldn't do it.
So what I found on my list is it's kind of like what I said. I've mentioned this a bit before. I don't hate the Cubs. I don't know, man. I'm not real big into that rivalry as far as baseball goes. Now, NFL, whole different story. Screw the Patriots. Screw my brother. Hate you. But yeah, I found that there might be some more Cubs on my list. But Albert Pujols, I don't care he's a Cardinal. That guy was just great. And honestly, I look at it this way, I'm almost glad he was a Cardinal because it gave me more opportunities to actually watch him. Think about Mike Trout. This is a guy, generational player, who could be the best ever, and you just don't really get that many opportunities to see him. Albert Pujols, he was in the division. I actually got a chance to see him play often enough, and I'm thankful for that.
Right.
So, and he was a guy everyone wanted number 1 overall pick. I never got the number 1 overall pick. I don't ever had him in fantasy, but I wanted him. So he's definitely a favorite of mine. He's my number 9 player.
Yeah, I debated him. As far as, and he killed the Pirates. Absolutely killed the Pirates.
What Cardinal didn't?
His numbers at PNC Park are just it's ridiculous. But he was the one Cardinal that I didn't mind. He was good and you knew it. And yeah, so anyway, and he's still going, even though he's not like he was.
He's not, but yeah, it's crazy. What his stats going to end up with. Right.
All right, so number 8 for me, it's probably be a surprise for you, but kind of more is a personal experience. So number 8 is Curtis Granderson, man.
Oh,
Grandy.
Okay. I know about this a little bit.
Yeah, so he, back in, good Lord, so back in
in your day,
that'd have been 07, 08, way back in the day. I worked for the Tigers single A team. And Granderson came in on a rehab start, and I think it was his thumb. It was something something not severe, but it was his thumb, and it kind of messes with you when you're trying to swing a bat. So it was kind of lingering, and he was trying to get it right, and he was in Grand Rapids, Michigan with us for a week, just hanging out. awesome. I mean, just awesome dude, classy. He did all this stuff. He just basically came out like he didn't even know we didn't ask him. His agent didn't come up with it. He wanted to go to like a school, like a elementary school in the city. Didn't want anybody to know about it. We set it up behind the scenes and everything, and just showed up one day at this school, and he got to meet the kids and sign autographs and just stuff like that. And I know there's a lot of guys that do that, but dude, Granderson, the guy was unbelievable. I mean, the triples, Donardo, back in 07, he had 23 triples. 23.
Right.
We don't even have guys that have 23 doubles on the team this year. So 23 triples. And, dude, he's still playing. He's still, hacking away down there in Miami now, which, whatever. But 16-year career, it's crazy. It's crazy. And this was when, he was 25, 26. But, dude, Granderson has put together a surprisingly really good career.
Yeah, that's you talk about fantasy. I mean, that was a guy you want to get in fantasy, all the stats. I mean, especially the league that we had before. I think those stats ended before Granderson was like really relevant, but man, he would have filled those up.
Yeah,
he would have got all 25 categories.
Some runs.
Yeah,
he did everything.
So he was definitely a fun player. So I can get on board with that. All right, so I guess my number 7 player is number 8 player. quick maths. My number 8 player is the Rocket, Roger Clemens. I don't care about the steroids. I don't care about what he did. He was my favorite player. I don't care about anything. The dude was fun to watch, and it's not like I can really say I knew like the old Rocket, back in the day. But I mean, the guy pitched was like 63 years old, so I still got to see a good bit of him, but. Like, it's funny, like the moments I'm even thinking of is like when he went back to Houston with the Astros, like the ridiculous years he had at such an advanced age with them. I mean, it was just fun to see him when I, did see him. And, like, again, it was one of those things where it just kind of intrigued you, kind of followed him around, Boston, everything. And I don't know, man, like there's just Roger Clemens. It's Roger Clemens. It's the Rocket. Just watching him pitch was just very interesting. And also my brother really liked them too. So my brother got me back into baseball.
That's a reason to hate him, actually.
No, I was saying it's really my brother kind of really got me back into baseball, and he liked Clemens, and I don't know, I like Clemens too. So that's my number 8.
Yeah, he performed real great at that twilight of his career. That's what steroids will do for you, Donardo.
I don't care. I told you I don't care. Prove it.
All right, moving along here. My number 7. I don't care what David thinks.
Wait.
It's Nolan Arenado.
Oh, okay.
So where'd you think I was going? Adam Frazier?
Right.
Which he's a Pirate, but yeah, we can't do that. But no, Nolan Arenado, man. So part of it's we're in a Stratomatic league, which I've had Arenado. Part of it's fantasy, where I've had him in multiple years, and he's just fun to watch. I mean, the dude can hit home runs, and the glove. I mean, the gloves might probably maybe at par or better than his offense. And he's just I don't care about the Coors Field crap. Whatever. Nolan Arenado can hit, David.
I can hit David. All right, I'll give you Nolan. He's definitely an exciting player for me, and I have another. I feel like I know another reason why you might not like him a little more. TFL. So.
Oh yeah, that one.
and what's funny is that might happen to a player later in my list as well. So for you to not even understand that, Ryan and I are in a strat league called the Franchise League, and he's on your team. So I think that's why you like him even more.
That helps. That helps. Yeah. Him doing well is very good.
Right. Anyways, all right.
But
so
good every year. So
my number 7. Now this is where it's a bit of fantasy. It's a bit of just the player. It's Carlos Zambrano, and I don't care. I'm tired.
Man.
It's Big Z, man. This dude.
I forgot about your obsession with him.
So you do remember. Yes. I swear. I mean, I'm in your fantasy football league. I'm in your fantasy baseball league, and I swear there's always guys I'm just like obsessed with for some unknown reason, and it just happens. Yep. Big Z was one of them. I mean, I know obviously Dante Culpepper was my dude for football.
I think you named your baseball team something Zambrano for a couple years or something.
I probably did. And like, I mean, this
Big
guy
Z something.
could pitch, you know, obviously he could pitch, but I mean, just he could hit too. But like, what was even better was just like all the off-field antics. I mean, I loved it. I mean, how fired up he was, how many coolers he would punch, how many things he would break. I just loved it. This guy was fired up. Now, what's funny is like how you said about how you learned a lot about yourself from your list. When I look at my list, I mean, you already talked about, well, Ichiro is more of like the presence, I guess, right? But it's like Roger Clemens, Carlos Zambrano. I'm learning on my list that some of these guys had some real flair.
Dude, and that's, I'm telling you, I can, and you know, I've knowing you for so long, fantasy football drafts, like I know the guys you're like going after because it's that you're going for that character, the guy that has flair, kind of the hype machines behind them a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know, that's why you're usually flame out in football.
Exactly.
Because it's too much hype. But
it's
yeah,
like it's funny because
you definitely have a stereotype, sure.
Sure, but I guess like I'm going into that to caveat it is like we talk about too how like baseball needs fun, needs this, and it's like when I look at my list now, I can honestly say like, you know what, maybe that's why I'm all for it, because the guys that I like have this, and maybe there's a reason why. Again, maybe foreshadow that a player named Mike Trout hasn't made my list yet. Just saying, you know. So, anyways, go ahead, Ron. You're next.
Is Tim Anderson on your list?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, funny you should mention Mike Trout, Bernardo. Because he's my number 6.
There you go.
So now, you know, say what you will about Trout. I don't know if you were kind of giving him a, you know, he's like not too much flair to him or whatever, and he's kind of quiet off the field. You don't hear much about him, but I mean, what Trout has done in you know his 9 years in the league is incredible. And you know, you hear about it on Fangraphs and you know, kind of the analytical crowd around the internet with baseball. Like Trout is definitely appreciated. Like people know he's the best player in the game. But it's still not, I don't think he's the household name that, you know, everybody knows and everybody definitely like, who's the best player? It's that guy.
Sure.
So I think he's like almost still underappreciated. And like, you're going to look back. I mean, he's already, you know, what's his WAR numbers? He's already like a Hall of Famer if he, you know, ended his career tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, he only needs one more year to qualify, right? 10 years you qualify, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
So essentially,
actually, but I mean,
like he really he could retire after next year, and he's a Hall of Famer, and he would be like what 28 years old.
Yeah, he's 20. Yeah, exactly. And that's I mean. So you go to his Baseball Reference page. It's all bold.
It's all bold.
The dude's having another. It is. The dude's having another unbelievable season.
Yeah.
So it's going to go down to years later when we're really really old, Bernardo. Like we're gonna, people. We got to see Mike Trout play baseball, and I feel like people don't. People talk about Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams, but we're seeing this guy who Mike Trout's like up there with them.
That's who he is, right?
Because he's the full package. Like we're seeing an all-time great, and that's why he's on the list. It's like how could he not be?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Well, my next dude. Speaking about flair, Pedro Martinez.
Nice.
I love Pedro, much like Rocket. Yep. You know, I mean, Pedro was that dude, and it was just fun to watch that guy pitch. And boy, could he pitch! And he was really nice on my fantasy teams when I had him also. So that was good. But yeah, I mean, just like Pedro Alvarez, just go watch him go up on that mound and just blow you away. So
throw Don Zimmer down.
Oh yeah. Well, again, flair, right?
Exactly. He still has the flair too on the Fox post-game show and stuff.
I'm telling you, man. He's but yeah. So there you go, Pedro. Oh, I almost said Alvarez. Martinez.
Oh,
all right. You're up. You're up, Ryan.
All right, top 5 here. Top 5. We're getting down to it. So
top 5.
Name kept popping up when I was thinking of guys, and I don't know, like if when watching him play, like if I say like, oh, this is one of my favorite dudes, but thinking back, like he was always like, I loved watching him bat. And speaking of my sluggers that couldn't really play defense, it's Gary Sheffield. So, dude, Sheffield was awesome. Sheffield was the man. And I mean that, he did the, with the wrist going,
Yes.
and his bat speed was just off the charts. And, he ended up playing for, a number of teams, and he like hit everywhere he went. And even in, late in his career with the Tigers and stuff, the dude could hit, and just, I loved watching him. I loved watching him at the plate. So yeah, Gary Sheffield just kept coming up. And I was like, I gotta put him on there. I can't even tell you what he played for the Marlins. He played for the Padres, Tigers. He was on like everywhere. So yeah, Gary Sheffield, dude, the guy.
I feel horrible because I don't know why his name never crossed my mind. I have no idea why. Garrett, now that you mention it, I'm like, wow, Sheffield. And I look at my list and I'm like,
You want to erase your number 4? Put him in there.
Well, maybe not my number 4, but it's like I look at my list. And I'm like, it's still tough, But like, that's a good one. I like that.
He could be your honorable mention.
There you go. Well, here's my number 5. Oh boy. All right, my number 5. Say what you say what you want. And again, I don't care about the steroids. I don't care about whatever. Manny World, baby. Manny Ramirez. I mean, how could you not like him? That dude could just hit. Now, I think much to like how Bonds, like, if he used steroids, like he's still going to be a great player. Manny could just flat out hit. I don't care, again, the steroids and such. I mean, the dude could legit hit. Did it help him? I'm sure. But did he need it? No. And I don't think, like, I mean, I know the Boston years, obviously, but there was just something, like, when he got traded and went to L.A., oh, my God. Like, to me, it just went to a whole nother level. Because, again, just like his presence. Yeah, Manny Wood. Like, his presence just went crazy, but, like, his production was ridiculous. And that's when he, like, really got the dreads going. And of course got popped again. And but like, do you remember how he was like making a comeback at like 40, whatever? Like, wasn't he in Japan like gonna make a comeback?
Yep.
Like
he was trying to, yeah.
And I felt like he probably could have legit done it, but the steroid problem. But anyways, yeah, man, that's my number 5, Manny Ramirez.
By the way, Gary Sheffield played for 9 teams. And
so not
9 different teams, and then
as much as Edwin Jackson, but
yeah, age 40, Donardo with the Mets. His only year with the Mets, he had an 823 OPS.
Wow!
Like in 300 plate appearances,
and
like,
that's with the Mets.
Everywhere.
You would think, like every other player that goes to the Mets, he would have like a 620, and that's why he had to retire.
Right. It's crazy to me. So anyway, moving on. We're in here in the top 4.
Oh,
all right. So top 4. Here's my number 4. Get that picture up there, Donardo. Dude, Max Scherzer. And this is even before the broken nose, and he's out there pitching gems.
Oh, boy.
What? Dude, Max Scherzer, I don't want to get in that guy's way for anything. The guy's a fierce competitor. We've seen the gifs where he's yelling at the ball or the pitcher, or the player or the catcher, or he's yelling at somebody. I don't know who the hell he's talking to out on the mound. And then, he fouls that bunt off his face, breaks his nose. The Nationals are going nowhere. The dude makes like $30 million a year. Yeah, he's starting the next game.
Yeah,
I mean that's the kind of guy I want.
Look at him
on my team.
Look at the dude. This just happened.
Plus, he's got 2 different eye colors. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's like what more could go wrong with his eyes? Let's make one black on top of it being green and blue and all the different colors.
I think they should have put him out there with like the NBA clear mask. That'd have been great. That'd have been fantastic.
That would have been. I would have been here for it.
Going way back to his debut with the Diamondbacks, I remember watching his opening, debut, and the movement on his pitches were just like, holy smokes! Like, you just saw it immediately. And then he went to the Tigers. He scuffled. I remember when they sent him down to AAA, and it just looked like he was always going to be kind of one of those high strikeout, like high walk, and just kind of give up some runs and just be that, never get deep into games. And then, he took off and turned into one of the best pitchers in the game. So, yeah I love Matt.
Like that.
He's fun to watch.
For sure, man. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's my number 4. We're inside the top 5, Ryan. My number 4. Mentioned this on the show, I think, as well. I mean, yeah, I lived in Pittsburgh as a Pirate fan per se, but I kind of adopted a new team, and that team was the Mariners. And I mean, they were fun to watch that too. Like, I mean, the early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. The Mariners were it, and they're in movies. They're in Rookie of the Year, right? Or
yeah, well, they had a lot of people in that, but yeah.
But anyways, my number 4 is the dude, the guy who blew up a bird, Randy Johnson, the big lefty, Randy Johnson, man. I mean, just like that presence. The dude was like 8 foot tall.
That poor bird
with a big ass mullet. Just I loved. He just intrigued me. I mean, his size, it was just an anomaly. Like, you don't see this in baseball.
Nope.
Yeah, man. Like, Randy Johnson was that dude for me. So that's my number 4.
Yeah, that's going back to Ken Griffey Jr. baseball again. That team was loaded. Loaded.
You did not play Ken Griffey Jr. baseball and not be the Mariners.
Right. Well, I think I've been every team in that game, but yes, yeah, the Mariners, they were an easy pick. All right, my number 3, I think we're at. It's Frank Thomas, Donardo, and it's not the Pirates Frank Thomas from back in the day.
What?
It's the Big Hurt.
What?
the White Sox Frank
It's only
Thomas.
because it's non-Pirates, right? If it weren't non-Pirates,
That's
clearly
right.
within ours. Okay.
That's right. But going back to that, that early 90s, team, as I mentioned from the Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, that White Sox team was loaded. And, I mean, how did you not like Frank Thomas? The dude punished baseballs for years. 521 home runs, 2 straight back-to-back MVPs, 93, 94. The dude was unbelievable.
Right.
The Big Hurt. Yeah, I love Frank Thomas. And getting back to my list, a lot of sluggers, a lot of big hitters on here.
Now,
and he was it.
I'm a bit shocked. I mean, if you're on White Sox, I thought it was going to be Michael Jordan, but you went with Frank Thomas. All right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I got to say, the White Sox hat, easy. I mean, there you go. But, making it famous. But the White Sox hat was famous, and I can't say I did not have one. I liked me some White Sox back in the day, more or less because it's just the fashion of the White Sox, more than the players at that point in time. But yeah, Frank Big Hurt, baby. All right, top 3, right? Now, Ryan, this might not come as a surprise. The surprise might be that he fell to number 3 for me. And as you've mentioned, as we've mentioned, fantasy has a lot to do with this. Our Strat League might have a lot to do with this. This is a guy who, in our Strat League, I traded for as a very, very young prospect, came through the rankings at a high rate, made his MLB debut, and how in the hell is my graphic not going to work?
Anticlimactic here.
Perfect. It's not even working. Anyways, it's Juan Soto. Juan Soto, this guy I've been infatuated for some reason. Since he got the international draft, the Nationals got him. Everyone was all about Robles. I was like, let's find a way to get Soto. Let's like this bigger package. Just get some Soto, Giolito, something. Forget Robles. Anyways, Juan Soto has just been a beast ever since he's come up. My Strat League thanks him. My Fantasy League this year thanks him. And personally, I mean, this is a young kid. This is a young man's game right now. And at 19 years old, he comes up and puts up all kinds of records. Rookie of the Year gets stolen from him from Ronald Acuna, but oh well. Juan Soto's the man. He's legit. We're going to have 38 more years of watching him, and I can't wait. So that's my number 3.
It's crazy too, because it's like the dude is in his second year, and you're taking him as your favorite player, which I expected it.
Exactly.
But it's still crazy, I know. As I'm looking now, I only got 4 active players because Granderson counts, sort of. He's with the Marlins, so I got 4 active players on my list. But anyway, we're down to the final 2 here. Numero dos, Donardo.
There's
was
Juan
my favorite
Soto, by the
pitcher.
way. I got the graphic right.
that?
For those watching, there's Juan
There
Soto.
you go.
All
There
right,
you go. You got it.
I'll put him away.
My number 2, loved watching this guy pitch. I got to go up to a game in Toronto to watch him pitch live. He had the sideburns. He had the chucks going. It's Roy Halladay. It's Roy Halladay. And the Phillies, going to the Phillies and getting his ring, it doesn't taint anything for me. I loved Roy Halladay. It's one of the reasons why the Blue Jays are like one of my favorite, I guess my AL team.
Your side piece.
Yeah, my side piece. Loved Roy Halladay. He was just, I mean, the dude just dominated. Like start after start after start. I mean, I can kind of compare it to Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
Like just a fierce competitor. He always, and talking about fantasy baseball, like always try to draft this guy. And the dude was just lights out, like every start.
Well, especially in your fantasy, because it gives you like 12 complete games that year, you know? He'd fill up
We'd
all
have
those
complete game
stats.
Shutouts. Yeah, you got like 1 or 2 complete game shutouts. You were like good for the year. But yeah, Halladay, man, he was just great every time out. And, it's sad, obviously the late Halladay, it's sad what happened after his playing career and everything. And It's like, I can't believe, like, sometimes I forget that he died, and it's like, you think about it, you're like, holy crap. Like, we just watched that guy his whole career, basically.
Crazy.
From start to finish. So, but yeah, he's number 2 for me.
Cool. Well, my number 3, which is, I mean, you had a great pitcher, tragic ending. Very similar in my sense, Ryan. Another great pitcher.
This is your number 2, right?
This is my number 3. My number 2. This is my number 2. As I'm dropping everything.
You got the list in front of you.
I can't count, Ryan. So this is my number 2. I loved watching this guy. And like how you said, like Toronto, I guess, was your adopted. The Marlins are kind of like my adopted team. I came down here. For some reason, I follow the Tampa Bay Rays. I decided to follow the Marlins. But whatever. They're AA teams in Jacksonville, so there's also more of a connection. Seen this guy pitch actually in Miami. Seen the guy pitch in Jacksonville. Loved Jose Day. And Jose Fernandez is my number 2. Unfortunately, as we all know, that story could be still continuing right now, and it's not.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's like, man, like this is a dude like I seriously miss. Like I talked about guys like I mentioned earlier, like fans, like who, thinking about who was my favorite baseball player be, who my favorite NBA player be. Like this guy could definitely be that guy. I mean, you talk about flair. I mean, loving the game, just the way he pitched, everything. God, it was so fun. So that's easily my number 2.
How sad is it that both our number 2s are gone?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Pitchers, no longer here, and obviously Fernandez was definitely too soon.
Yeah.
Because he should be still pitching. So
should.
But yeah, no, that was another. I mean, that was another one. Flair, man, the guy enjoyed baseball out there.
His whole story, like the whole story about him. Just one of those stories. Like, wow, how great this is. Everything he overcame, and yeah. But anyways, moving on. Your number
moving
1.
on to my numero uno. This is an easy one for me, Donardo. I don't know if you knew it. I already know who your number 1 is. That was an easy one from back in the day. But my number 1 was it's Jeff Bagwell. There's the Killer Bees coming back on the list, and like I said, we got to watch that Astros team a lot, being in the 90s NL Central, and Bagwell, Biggio, they just were awesome. And that was another thing. Like Bagwell was awesome year in and year out. Another fantasy guy. He got you on base. He got you walks. He got you home runs, RBIs.
Sure.
He was everywhere. And I mean, the stance where you're in your backyard trying to mimic it. And you look like a complete fool. I mean, that's it's like, how did he do that? How did he get power from that position? It was wild.
I don't know, man.
And just recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. So it's you'll never see a stance like that again. It's just unbelievable what he did
Not.
out of that stance. Yeah, you don't want to teach that to your kids if you're wanting them to play baseball. And he basically said that, I think, in his Hall of Fame speech.
Right.
But yeah, Bagwell.
Like, I'm in the Hall of Fame, but don't do anything that I did. Like, do not mimic me.
Bagwell was it. And I always remember like watching those. The Astros would come in and you'd be sitting there before the game started, and they'd put the lineup on the board at the stadium, and you'd see the Astros lineup pop up, and like every single hitter was like hitting above 320. You're like, good Lord, those teams are so good. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
well,
Bagwell.
Nice number one. I guess I could say I didn't know he would be your number one. So I knew you liked him. I guess I didn't realize like that was your all-time favorite. But I guess getting to my number one all-time favorite, which as you mentioned, you already knew. I think it's pretty fair to assume who it's going to be. I mean, the guy had the video game named after him, Ryan.
I was just saying, we already said his name like 9 times.
Right. I mean, he had his own video game. This guy was the like epitome of flair. Everyone mimicked him. Everybody wanted to be Ken Griffey Jr., the kid.
The kid.
I mean, this was the dude I grew up idolizing. So I had my White Sox hat. Like I moved from Jersey to Pittsburgh, right? Saw the Pirates last 2 years of being good forever, right?
Right.
And then after that, it was some hard times. So as mentioned, like I had the White Sox hat.
That's an understatement.
Thanks to Eazy-E and Dr. Dre. But I gotta definitely say, like, this was the dude. Ken Griffey Jr. Like, that's when I adopted the Mariners as my team back then. I had the Mariners hat as well, rocking it backwards, of course, as always. Yep. You wanted to be Ken Griffey Jr. You wanted his shoes. Like, what baseball player? Think about this. Everyone wants everyone's basketball player shoes. Of course, you can't wear cleats. But, like, who wanted people's baseball shoes? Like, who talks about Mike Trout's baseball shoes even today? Everybody wanted the Griffies. He had his own baseball game. Like, the hat, as you see in the graphic, it's like iconic, but wearing it backwards. I mean, the kid, so legit. Everyone, and that's the thing too. Like, everyone wanted his swing. You talk about Biggio, how it's like, don't mimic me. Everyone wanted to be the kid. So
so smooth.
That rounds out my list. That's my number one. As we've all talked about right now on the show and said, like, clearly we learned a lot about ourselves with this list. And there's
I like
the epitome
hitting
of it.
home runs.
Yeah. I like swag. I like swag and fights.
but Griffey was it, man. Like, you're right. Like, no one, like, that's what the game needs more of today. Like, guys like Griffey that, like you said, people wanted his shoes. People, I just have that image of him with the backwards hat, smiling. And the Mariners had that, the teal color. Like, it was cool.
Pretty.
So the Mariners were cool, and that team was awesome. And Griffey was it. And I still that trade to Cincinnati. It was just so like, what?
Yeah.
It was just like, Griffey should be in Seattle. That's where he should be.
Just his career too. Like, that's the dude. Like, had he took steroids, he would have been so much better. Like we say about Bonds. Like, if Bonds didn't take steroids, like, he's probably Griffey. That's what we're saying. Like, Bonds a whole nother level, but like, he didn't need it. If he didn't take steroids, he's probably Ken Griffey Jr. And it's like, had Ken Griffey Jr. took steroids, he's probably Barry Bonds.
Right.
So, for whatever it is,
he might have been.
That's what I'm saying. He probably would have stayed healthy. Get some of that HGH. Where's Jorge Posada at? So, yeah, man, that's my top 10. There's your top 10. Pretty solid. Anyone listening, give us your takes. Who's your top 10 if you want. I think that pretty much wraps up our show, though, Ryan.
Yes, sir. It's late, man. It's past my bedtime.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. So, anyways, all right, we out. Listen to the podcast this Sunday. Get in that Pirates Charities raffle. Anything else, Ryan?
Yes. That's it. Go beat up on Garrett Cole.
Or not. Bye-bye.
Peace.